Welcome back to Motivation Library. Today we're doing a deep dive into The Secret Language of Money by David Krueger and John David Mann.
Yeah, it's really fascinating.
It is, right. We're going to be exploring the psychology behind our financial decisions.
Going way beyond like spreadsheets and budgets and all that stuff.
Exactly. We're going to be talking about the hidden meanings that we attach to money.
And how they can kind of secretly influence our choices.
Yeah, without us even realizing it a lot of the time.
Like subconsciously.
Subconsciously, yeah.
It's like that old saying, money doesn't change you, it just magnifies who you already are.
It's so true, though. That money magnifier idea is so powerful. And the book actually shares some pretty wild stories to illustrate this point.
Oh yeah, like what?
Like, there's one about a lottery winner who ends up facing a whole bunch of tragedies after hitting the jackpot.
Oh yeah, Jack Whittaker. That was a tough one.
It really makes you think, right?
Yeah.
Like, is money really a blessing or a curse?
It's a really stark reminder that money can amplify existing problems.
Yeah, like if someone's already struggling with addiction, for example.
Oh, absolutely. Sudden wealth could make things a lot worse.
Like, it's almost like having unlimited resources to fuel those unhealthy habits.
Yes, exactly. And the book goes even deeper than those more obvious connections, and it explores less obvious meanings that we tie to money.
Oh, like what?
Like using it as a way to express love or something.
Or even equating our financial success with our self-worth.
Yeah. There's a story in the book about a woman who collected dolls to try to feel a sense of value.
It's fascinating how we create these narratives around money.
They're so powerful.
It's like we're all living out these unspoken money stories,
And sometimes those stories can be really self-sabotaging.
leading us down this path of like never enough.
Yeah, always wanting more, never feeling satisfied.
The book actually uses the story of Barry Bonds' record-breaking baseball to illustrate this point.
Oh yeah, how so?
Well, the fans who were fighting over that ball ended up in years of legal battles,
Oh wow.
and they faced financial ruin because of it.
It's like their desire for the money associated with the ball just overshadowed everything else.
Yeah, they got so caught up in it.
Yeah, it's a great example of how our brains can get hijacked by these powerful emotions.
Yeah, and desires. Speaking of brains, the book also delves into the neuroscience behind our often irrational financial decisions.
Oh yeah, it's so interesting.
It explains how our brains actually have 3 layers that influence our money choices.
The reptilian brain, the mammalian brain, and the neocortical brain.
Okay, so the reptilian brain being like the oldest part of our brain,
Right.
it's driven by those basic survival
It's
instincts.
instant gratification.
Instant gratification, yeah.
Like our primal urges.
So think of it as the fight or flight center of the brain.
Exactly. And it's really easily influenced by fear and greed.
So that can lead to those impulsive financial decisions that we sometimes make.
Like panic selling during a market crash or something.
Oh, so that's the reptilian brain taking over.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting. Okay, so then what about the mammalian brain?
So that's the emotional center of our brain. It's all about feelings of connection and attachment.
So does that influence our spending habits based on how we're feeling?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that explains why retail therapy can feel so good, even if it's not really good for our wallets.
It's that emotional reward system kicking in.
Okay, so we got the reptilian brain, we got the mammalian brain, and then we have the neocortical brain.
The logical planner.
That voice of reason, you could say.
Exactly. It's responsible for long-term planning and those rational decisions.
But here's the catch, right? It can be overridden by those more primitive parts of the brain,
Especially when we're in emotionally charged situations.
like when we're stressed or excited,
Exactly. And that's when we tend to make those not so great financial decisions.
like that classic example of the $100 bill auction.
Where people end up bidding way over $100 just to win.
It's crazy, right?
It really is. It's fascinating how our brains can trick us into overspending.
Even when we know it goes against our best interests. So how do we combat that? How do we start making smarter choices when those primitive instincts kick in?
Well, that's where the book gets really practical, and it talks about understanding the debt cycle and recognizing our emotional triggers.
And ultimately, rewriting our money story.
Yes. It's about identifying those limiting beliefs that we have about money, often from childhood or past experiences.
Like if you grew up in a household where money was always a source of stress.
Exactly. That could create a scarcity mindset that you might carry with you into adulthood.
And that can influence how you view and manage money. So rewriting your money story is about challenging those old beliefs and creating a new narrative.
A more empowering one.
One that's more aligned with your goal.
Yeah, exactly.
So before we dive into those strategies for rewriting our money story, Let's explore some more of these fascinating insights from The Secret Language of Money.
Sounds good.
We've been talking about these hidden money scripts, right?
Hmm.
The ones that shape our financial behavior.
Yeah, and the book really digs into some common ways we deceive ourselves with money.
Like what?
Well, there's denial, like you just kind of conveniently forget about those credit card charges.
Oh yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Exactly. Or how about categorization?
Categorization.
It's like when you get a tax refund, you think of it as like found money and then it's free to spend.
Oh, I've totally done that before. It's like, it doesn't count the same way as, your regular income.
Right. And then there's rationalization, like justifying a big purchase by saying, oh, I'll just spread the cost over time.
Making it seem more manageable in your mind.
Exactly, even if it's not really the best financial decision long term.
So how do we uncover these, deeper beliefs? How do we even know what our money scripts are?
Well, the book suggests this really cool exercise. You basically ask yourself some key questions about your current relationship with money.
Like what kind of questions?
Like, what are your core beliefs about money? Where did those beliefs come from?
So really tracing it back.
Yeah, like maybe think back to your childhood.
Did you witness financial struggles growing up? Or maybe you saw someone else who was really successful with money.
It's amazing how those early experiences can really shape our financial outlook,
Yeah, for sure. And, the book also talks about how our personal narratives can really shape our financial reality.
Oh, yeah. They use a really cool story to illustrate that.
What was it? Remind me.
About this anthropologist who survived an ape colony.
Wait, how did he do that?
He just believed he had a gun.
But he didn't actually have one.
Nope, he never even used it. But the apes believed she did, so they left him alone.
Wow, that's the power of belief right there.
Right. And they connected to the placebo effect.
How so?
Well, with the placebo effect, people experience real results just because they believe something is going to work.
So, if we believe we're destined for financial hardship, we might unconsciously sabotage our efforts to make money.
Exactly. But a belief in abundance, that can open up all sorts of possibilities.
It really makes you think about the stories we tell ourselves.
About money, about our lives. Are those stories helping us or holding us back?
That's a good question to ask. So once we've uncovered these hidden scripts, how do we actually start to rewrite them?
Well, one powerful tool the book talks about is visualization.
Visualization, like just picturing yourself achieving your financial goals.
Yeah. It sounds almost too simple to be true.
But it actually works.
It does. Research shows that visualization can create real physical changes in the brain.
So it's like you're training your mind to believe that it's possible.
Exactly. You're priming yourself for success. The book also talks about creating a money mission statement.
A money mission statement.
Yeah, it's like a guiding principle for your financial life.
So it's more than just setting financial goals.
Right. It's about figuring out your priorities.
Like what's really important to you.
What do you want your money to do for you? For your family? For the world?
So it's about using money in a way that feels meaningful to you.
Exactly. And they even give you a worksheet to help you craft your own mission statement.
Step by step.
Step by step. And the book also talks about challenging some of the common myths about money.
Oh, like what?
Like the idea that more money automatically equals more happiness.
We all know people who are financially successful but miserable.
Right. It's a reminder that true wealth is about so much more than just your bank account.
Yeah, it's about fulfillment.
Finding joy in all areas of your life. And they also warn against the dangers of workaholism.
That whole work till you drop mentality.
Yeah, they talk about how the pursuit of money can become this all-consuming obsession that actually prevents you from living a fulfilling life.
Like you get so caught up in the chase that you forget what really matters.
It's about finding that balance, aligning your work with your passions and your values.
So you're not just chasing a paycheck.
Right. They share this amazing story of a surgeon. I think his name was Gary.
What was this story?
Well, he was feeling really burnt out, He had become so focused on the financial struggles of his practice that he'd kind of lost his passion for the work itself.
He's just going through the motions.
Exactly. But then he rediscovered his love for this one specific procedure, and his whole perspective shifted.
It reignited that spark.
Totally. And his energy was renewed, his practice flourished, he was happier.
It's a great reminder that finding that purpose, that passion in your work, can really transform your whole experience.
Yeah, both professionally and personally. It makes you think, what are you working towards?
Right. Is it something you truly care about? Is it aligned with your values?
Those are important questions to ask yourself. The book also emphasizes the importance of gratitude.
Appreciating what you already have.
Exactly.
Uh,
Cultivating that sense of contentment.
yeah, because it's so easy to get caught up in that I need more mentality.
Always wanting the next thing. But gratitude can really help you break free from that cycle.
Shift your focus.
Yeah, shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Recognizing that true wealth encompasses all those things that money can't buy.
Your relationships, your health, your passions, your experiences.
All those things that really make life rich.
Exactly.
Well, this has been such a fascinating exploration so
Oh,
far.
no, right? It's really making me rethink my relationship with money.
Me too.
Yeah.
The book has provided such a profound framework for transforming how we view and manage our finances
It's not just about the numbers. It's about understanding ourselves.
and our relationship with wealth.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up our deep dive into the secret language of money, let's touch on one final kind of thought-provoking topic from the book. We've covered so much ground, from uncovering those hidden money scripts to rewriting our financial narratives. But the book also explores some, I guess, deeper questions about contentment and like what it really means to live a rich life.
Yeah, it's not all about money, right?
Right.
It's about defining, like, enough for yourself. What does that even mean?
And realizing that true wealth goes beyond just your financial assets.
They use a really clever analogy in the book. It's about penguins who want to fly,
Oh, yeah, I remember that. They go to this motivational seminar.
hoping to unlock their, like, hidden flying potential.
But penguins can fly.
Exactly. It's a funny way to illustrate that sometimes, no matter how badly we want something,
It's just not in our nature.
yeah, we might be chasing after something that's just not meant for us.
And that's okay. It's about recognizing our limitations and focusing on our strengths.
And maybe questioning those expectations that we've just blindly accepted from society.
Like the idea that we have to work ourselves to the bone to be successful.
The book really challenges that work till you drop mentality.
They highlight the dangers of workaholism, where the pursuit of money becomes this, like, all-consuming force.
And it can actually prevent you from living a truly fulfilling life.
Because you get so caught up in the chase, you lose sight of what really matters.
Exactly. It's about finding that balance,
No.
making sure your work is aligned with your passions, your values.
They actually share a really inspiring story about a surgeon who was feeling super burnt out.
Oh, yeah, Gary.
Gary, yeah.
Yeah.
He would become so focused on the financial struggles of his practice that he'd kind of lost that joy in his work.
Yeah, he wasn't feeling it anymore.
But then he rediscovered his love for this one specific procedure.
And everything changed.
His whole perspective shifted.
His energy came back, his practice flourished.
It's like finding that spark, that sense of purpose.
Can really transform your whole experience, both personally and professionally.
So it's not just about the money. It's about finding that thing that lights you up.
Yeah, it makes you wonder, what are we all working towards? Is it aligned with our values, our deepest aspirations?
Big questions. Yeah. The book also talks about the importance of gratitude.
Appreciating what you already have.
Yeah, cultivating that sense of contentment.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in that, I need more mentality.
Always wanting the next thing. But gratitude can help you break free from that.
Shift from scarcity to abundance.
Recognizing that true wealth encompasses our relationships, our health, our passions.
All the things that money can't buy.
Well said. The secret language of money has given us so much to think about.
It's really shifted my perspective on things.
Me too. It's not just about managing money, it's about understanding ourselves.
And how we relate to wealth. It's about creating a life that feels aligned,
Fulfilling.
truly rich.
As we wrap up this deep dive, is there one key takeaway you want our listeners to remember?
You have the power to rewrite your money story.
It's not set in stone.
You can challenge those limiting beliefs, create a new narrative, and really shape your financial destiny.
It's about taking ownership
Becoming the author of your own financial success story.
and remembering that financial success is a journey, not a destination.
It's going to have its ups and downs for sure.
But by understanding the secret language of money
We can navigate those challenges with more clarity and confidence.
and ultimately create a life that feels both prosperous and purposeful.
Exactly.
Well, that's a beautiful message to end on. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the secret language of money.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you found it as insightful and inspiring as we did.
And we hope you'll continue to explore the fascinating world of personal finance.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep rewriting your story. Until next time.